Sam Altman sent a memo this week that wasn't supposed to make it out into the world, but of course it did. Amazon fired more people than at any point in its 31-year history. A Saudi prince who dissolved a journalist like a bath bomb walked into the White House and became the president's best friend. Meta filed paperwork to become something else. And Google admitted it needs 1,000 times more computing power to run an AI that doesn't know what year it is. Well, it's 2025, at least for a couple more weeks, and the hype machine has a faint pulse. It's faint, it's fading, and it smells like Teen Spirit. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who still owns a Ford Pinto before they're sent to the moon, if you don't mind. Drop in a comment below also. I appreciate that. Tell me what you're having for Thanksgiving dinner if you're an American, or just tell me what you're having for dinner on Thursday if you're not. We're having tostadas. You ready? Let's go.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs.
Let's talk about that memo. Sam Altman, the man who raised more money than some countries' GDP, the man who tells senators with straight faces that ChatGPT will cure cancer while it still can't reliably count the number of R's in strawberry, sent an internal memo admitting that OpenAI is in deep bull cookies. His exact words were, rough vibes. Yeah, dude. Not strategic headwinds, not market recalibration, not whatever consultant brain nonsense McKinsey charges $1,200 an hour to vomit onto a PowerPoint. Rough vibes. He told employees that Google's Gemini 3 Pro and Anthropic are closing the gap. Then he dropped this little nugget. OpenAI is catching up fast. He said catching up. The company that started the entire gold rush is now admitting they're eating dust. ChatGPT launched 3 years ago. Everyone else was supposed to be playing catch-up until 2030. Now Sam's in the back of the pack thinking about turning around and crossing the finish line with his ass. That way he can at least say he came in last, but first. But wait, there's more, because there always is. Altman warned that revenue growth is slowing. How much? From triple-digit percentage gains to 5 to 10% by 2026. That's just weeks from now. The reason? I'm going to read this exactly as he wrote it. Softer enterprise demand and a softer AI hype cycle. The CEO of OpenAI just told his employees in writing that the hype is dying. The man whose entire business model depends on people believing AI is about to become sentient and either save humanity or destroy it, just admitted nobody's buying the BS anymore. But that wasn't even the most batshit crazy part of OpenAI week. They had to call the cops. You might see that on an episode of Cops. A former activist from Stop AI, a group that protests artificial intelligence development, was flagged for possible threats after previously being on site at OpenAI's San Francisco offices. Police were called. Employees were told to stop wearing their company's logos in public. The people building humanity's final invention are now hiding their badges like they work for Comcast. So if the hype is dying, what happens to the people who built the hype machine? I don't know, ask Amazon. Or rather ask the 14,000 people who used to work there. This week, WARN filings revealed the full scope of Amazon's October layoffs, which we talked about. 14,000 humans, the steepest cuts in the company's 31-year history. Jeff Bezos didn't fire this many people when he was trying on hair pieces that made him look like Sonny Bono from Sonny and Cher. 40% of those layoffs were engineering jobs. No middle managers, not the diversity consultants, not the guy whose entire job is making sure the snacks in the break room are inclusive. Engineers. 1,800 engineers gone, vaporized, sent to the great WB channel in the sky. Meanwhile, Amazon's AI shopping assistant is still recommending that you buy the thing you already bought yesterday. Amazon's HR chief, Beth Galetti, sent a memo explaining why they're doing this. Her reasoning? And I swear this is a real quote. This generation of AI is the most transformative technology we've seen since the internet, and it's enabling companies to innovate much faster than ever before. They're firing engineers because of AI, using AI as the justification for eliminating the people who built their AI. Hey, thanks for creating the technology that makes you obsolete. Here's a cardboard box, clean out your desk. Luckily they probably have enough cardboard boxes for everyone laying around. Amazon says more layoffs are coming in January. Happy holidays. And it's not just them. 113,000 jobs cut at 231 tech companies this year, the most since the pandemic. If you're a college senior hoping to graduate into a tech job in 2026, companies are predicting it'll be the worst job market for new grads in many years. Experienced workers are taking entry-level positions because they can't find anything else, which means fresh graduates are getting pushed out entirely. Sorry, we gave your junior developer's job to a 35-year-old with 10 years of experience who's willing to work for Domino's coupons and the false promise of future promotion. But don't worry, Sam Altman says rough vibes, the adults are handling it. It's all under control. Nothing to see here. Please disperse. So the hype is dying, the engineers are getting yeeted into the unemployment void. Revenue growth is doing its best impression of my hairline. And my bald spots. Used to be spot, now it's spots. They make Rogaine. Why don't they make stuff that works? I don't know. Who's going to save Silicon Valley? Well, maybe this guy, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. We'll call him NBS. Mohammed bin Salman, NBS. Easier to say. The de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia made his first visit to the United States in years. NBS walked into the Oval Office, shook hands with President Trump, and casually mentioned that Saudi Arabia would invest $1 trillion in the United States. Trump's response was, and this is a real quote from the actual president, "You're saying to me now that the $600 billion you were going to invest will be $1 trillion? Good. I like that very much." Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, showed up with a promise of $600 billion. Then mid-handshake just, added another $400 billion, like you remembered another well just struck oil. Another oil strike, AOS. And where's that $1 trillion going? AI infrastructure systems, AIS. Elon Musk announced that xAI is building a 500 megawatt data center in Saudi Arabia. Powered by NVIDIA chips running Grok throughout the Kingdom of Saudi, KOS. That's right, the Saudi royal family is going to have Elon's chatbot. Imagine MBS asking Grok how to handle journalists who write mean things. Have you considered a consulate-based solution? CBS. Amazon Web Services, also known as, you guessed it, AWS, announced a 100 megawatt data center in Riyadh. With gigawatt ambitions soon, GAS, which is weirdly appropriate. 115,000 AI accelerators in the Saudi capital. Luma AI, the company behind Dream Machine Scenes, DMS, just raised $900 million for Humane, Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund. They're going to be one of the first customers of Project Halo, a 2 gigawatt supercluster being built beneath the desert sky. TDS. AMD, Cisco, Qualcomm all announced partnerships with Humane this week. Every single American AI company is now taking money from the Saudis. FTS, from the Saudis. Why? What could possibly justify wanting to be in debt to them for something else on top of oil? 3 things: funding, energy, space. FES. The United States is running out of electricity. We literally cannot build data centers fast enough because the grid can't handle them. California is already straining. Texas is one hot summer away from becoming a Cormac McCarthy's bestseller. MBS, McCarthy bestseller. Hey, another MBS, full circle. Huh. We'll try for Kevin Bacon next. But Saudi Arabia, empty deserts, unlimited petrodollars, zero environmental regulations, zero labor protections, zero Fs given about anything except making sure the oil money keeps flowing after the oil runs out. The irony is so thick you could choke on it. The AI industry, the technology that's supposed to help us transition away from fossil fuels and build a sustainable future, is now being bankrolled by the world's largest oil exporter. We're building the green future with money from the people who got rich, making sure there wouldn't be one. All right, now, I have saved the dumbest thing for last because I need you properly lubed up for this level of stupid. Meta, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, the company that spent $46 billion trying to make us all wear goggles, just filed for a license to trade wholesale electricity. Meta wants to become a power company. Why? Well, because their AI data centers consume so much power that it's genuinely cheaper to just become the power company. This is the current state of the AI industry. A social media company founded by a guy who wanted to rate how hot his classmates were is now filing paperwork with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. Mark Zuckerberg started in a Harvard dorm room judging women's faces and other things. Now he's entering the utilities market. Somewhere Tom from MySpace is on a beach sipping a drink, probably a margarita, watching all this unfold and laughing his ass off. A quick programming note, I usually publish a new video every Monday and Thursday nights, but since it's Thanksgiving week, I'm taking Thursday off. In my place will be Baba Wawa, unless she's dead, and in that case it'll be Geraldo Rivera, unless he's also dead, although I think the rumors of his passing have been greatly exaggerated. And I'm sure he'll get to the bottom of that after, the commercial breaks. I'll see you in the next episode, or whenever.